Hi, my name is Lee, or Berkatari. Have you ever wondered, what would it be like to be a wizard trying to get into a club? This is my making of video to show you how I made and how I got the incredible help of Murray to make our short film, I Want In. Kind of when we initially started, I think me and Murray already knew we wanted to partner up, so it was a no-brainer, really. The initial concepts of our film was just kind of like a big list that Murray had compiled of like various different film ideas, but we kind of honed in on making one about a wizard trying to get into a club and not being able to do so. Initially we had like a really big conversation about how could we make this into a film, what genre would we go into, and we both kind of mutually agreed that comedy would be really fun. A lot of people are delving into deep emotional themes and everything else, and we was like, hey, why not make something really silly? Development was actually probably my favorite part of it. You know, we got a bunch of concept art done, we did small animatics, then when it came to storyboarding, Murray cracked all of it out, I cleaned it. There was one specific instance which kind of bummed us out. We realized that there were a lot of things that couldn't happen. We had to go back, redo a lot of the animatic, remake the storyboard, and then kind of finalize pre-production. So I say pre-production was probably my favorite aspect of the entire project. Me and Murray had a lot of meetings to kind of keep note that what we were doing was steady, up to pace. We both knew where we were at. We both knew what roles we were doing, what we were in charge of, and I felt it was pretty professional.
Basically, like, the whole thing I want to get down out of this conversation is like style sheets, really, or just like finding a way for us to create work that looks at least similar, so that when we're going on to, like, if we go on to animate certain scenes or do certain things, there won't be like a drastic jump.
I love the storyboard, that's like what I think. Obviously, in terms of any moment I look at a storyboard, they kind of need to get some more description on it. So I really do like it. I think my only kind of request is I'm more than happy to do a dragon for like the main montage. But I think I would save the Kraken for maybe like his end, like his final one. I think that's his last resort.
The development part was possibly the trickiest for myself. We did start losing communication halfway through during development. Murray would decide that, without telling me, that he wanted to change a scene, and he would only make this known once he'd finished the shot. So a really prime example is with the bouncer scene, where the wizard kind of pops up from a window and kind of stares down. All he's really meant to see is the wizard just kind of stood staring back up at him. Murray changed it so that the bouncer was kind of sat in this really dark room, kind of lighting a lighter, like assumed to be like on a smoke break. We couldn't really figure out a way why the bouncer would be smoking inside. Thankfully, Murray was really understanding and decided, you know what, yeah, that's understandable, I can change it. And Murray's an incredibly fast worker, so it was no problem for him, really, and I was very grateful. The communication issues happened quite a few more times. Just similarly to the bouncer scene, he decided, oh, I want to change something, and didn't tell me until he's done it. Murray kind of accidentally adding more things for me to do, and then apologizing, and then continuing to do it was a bit of a tricky situation. So we did end up having a big conversation about it, and again, it was very understanding, and I was very appreciative. So that was probably the biggest up and down during development. Another thing was what I like to call the hell week for me. Late March, early April, there was this one week where everything just went wrong. My computer broke down, it wouldn't turn on, which meant I had no way to do work. And then my leg got really injured. I was admitted to hospital. I had a roughly 2.5 week hiatus from doing absolutely no work. Murray at the time was really understanding, but it just kind of meant that we were quite behind schedule. I'd say the animation aspect of the film. At the beginning, I felt that I had to do a lot of work, which obviously meant that I was losing a lot of time and I was getting burnt out really quick. So there was a lot of times during production where I just didn't want to continue. I just felt like we had so much work to do, we'd kind of overstepped the bar, this was such a big production that we'd set ourselves for, and I just didn't visualize us getting it done. Obviously, thankfully I did. I think one of my favourite shots is when the wizard gets punched, and all I did was draw the wizard as just a still PNG and then twirl it around as if he's being fired back. It's a really simple thing to do, and I was pretty happy with it. You don't have to go above and beyond with these kind of things, and that was a big learning curve for me during this production. There's not really too much to say about post. During post-production, we still didn't have a music student. We didn't have any person that would be interested in making sound, music, anything for our film. So during post and editing, it was very much we had to grasp at any straw we could. I definitely say I've improved a lot. Even though there was like tricky moments, like ups and downs, my leg, hiatusing, being burnt out, the communication issues, in the end, it all works out. Again, I was terrible at backgrounds, but I feel like I've really improved on them with this production. My animation skills were kind of sloppy, and even though most of my animation in this film is very jumpy and not very fluid in a way, I still think I understand it a lot more, and especially my skills in Toon Boom Harmony on Storyboard Pro, like, I feel like I'm getting there pretty quick. It is just kind of overall great. I'm not really too sure what else to say. Making I Wan Din has been such a fun experience that I don't think I'll ever really forget. So yeah. Thank you for watching.